Hi everyone, here we are at the Cotswold Wargaming show. So you can see it's quite bijou. A few tables in this room, and we've got some games going on next door through that doorway. We're doing the Battle of Mockern and got some of our redoubtable war game companions. We've got Chris, Kevin and Paul playing and Charlie down there. And we've just finished deployment. So got Russians and Prussians deploying on the left down here, and two brigades of Prussians. A large Prussian heavy cavalry brigade with dragoons, lancers and hussars. And then we have Russian infantry with some grenadiers in the centre, and then some line and Jaeger regiments across to the flank. Facing them, we've got a French division down here of 2 battalions of Italians with some artillery, then 3 battalions of French, including a small battalion, 4 more battalions of French and some light cavalry on the flank. And moving across the repetition on this side, we've got a light cavalry brigade and a brigade of 3 French battalions and 4 in this village. Objectives for the Germans and Russians are to break this defence in front of Magdeburg. So Prince Eugene is holding the lines while Napoleon tries to raise the main French army, and we're trying to break the series of French defences in Germany. So we'll see how we go as this game plays out. I'll also do a quick walk around and see what some of the other tables are playing. Right, here we are at the end of turn 3. Charlie has advanced with his light cavalry brigade, his 2 large units of lancers and his hussars, and they've driven off the French hussars. So we've got 1 retreating and 1 routing unit, so we've got a faltering hussar brigade down there. Otherwise, the Russians and Prussians have remained fairly static, just using their artillery to shoot against the French positions. French, again, are playing pretty defensive at the moment, so they haven't really moved very much forward. So all the action's really been in this corner. All right, that's it for the end of turn 3. The sound failed at this part, so do a quick overview. Here we can see the all hands and the lancers having driven the French hussars away and are now putting pressure on the French squares. The dragoons who have moved across this hedge line and are potentially attacking the French infantry that are supporting their position in the village, but have exposed their flank to the cuirassiers and the dragoons to a countercharge. And on the right, the Russians are moving forward to start putting pressure against the French light cavalry. All right, in the following turn, we can see that the all hands and the lancers have reformed, forcing the French to stay in square, and Charlie has now started moving his Prussian infantry up to potentially break those squares in subsequent turns. We can see the dragoons have completed their charge and they broke that French column that was supporting the village. Because they charged first, they managed to prevent the cuirassiers charging them in the flank, and the cuirassiers themselves are disordered as a result of being subject to the combined fire from these 3 Prussian batteries. So that front unit has gone unformed, which puts the rear 2 battalions in a difficult position. Over here we can see the Russian advance continues, and the first French charge has been thrown back by one of the chasseur units. Okay, so here we are at the end of the game, and it's turned into a crushing Russian and Prussian victory. We had 3 brigade break tests this turn, and the French unfortunately failed all 3. On this far right flank of the French, we've taken many casualties. You can see them here stacked up on the shelf. Most of the French light cavalry has broken, and the squares that the French were putting pressure on this flank have also disintegrated. So we have Prussian columns pressuring the ridgeline. We still have a French artillery battery up there, but we've still got a lot of Prussian lancers and Uhlans pinning that remaining square and supporting our French infantry, Prussian infantry battalions. And in the village, we've got another 3 battalions attacking, and there doesn't seem it'll be very long before they break into the village themselves. As we look across, we still have the small Italian brigade available to support the village, but the remnants of the French heavy cavalry have also broken. The front regiment was destroyed by that weight of Prussian infantry fire, and they failed their savoir-faire tests. And then finally there was another French brigade in this village. They have also failed their savoir-faire tests as a result of Russian pressure. You see the Russian battalions here still putting pressure on the French line, mainly veterans, and it's just a matter of time before they push this last French brigade off the table. So of the 7 brigades we started with, no less than 5 of the French have been destroyed. A resounding victory for the Allies. Well done to Charlie, and that's how the game ended.
So I don't know what his victory is.
No, you don't.
This is a game of sharp practice.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
It's coming right down to the wire here. We're trying to blow up the bridge. These guys have been pushed off the bridge. It's almost ready to blow. But we think that the British are going to storm over it and save the day.
Well, that's what we'd like to see. Good old British redcoats.
Yes,
French
indeed.
commander looking relatively grumpy.
Yes. Yes, it's been a long day.
There was a bit of honesty there.
It's
It's generally
lovely looking table.
It's
Thanks.
long.
It's an age thing.
No, thank you.